You hear the name Alibaba, and you think, tech giant, right? A household name. But if you've looked at their numbers lately, you might be scratching your head. They're making these huge, ambitious moves, but their profits are getting squeezed. So what's really going on here? Let's dig in and figure it out.
Right, so what is the deal with Alibaba? I mean, are they a rocket ship shooting for the moon, investing in the future? Or are they a company that's kind of struggling to make ends meet? Well, the crazy thing is, the answer is both. In figuring out why that is, well, that's the key to their whole game plan.
And that really is the central puzzle, isn't it? On one side, you've got this aggressive expansion. They're making these massive, bold plays for the future. But then you look at the other side and, yikes, the profits are getting seriously squeezed. So how can both be true? It seems impossible. Let's break it down, and we'll start with the good news, the growth story.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about where Alibaba is putting its chips. And believe me, this isn't just them throwing money at the wall to see what sticks. No, this is a super focused push into what they think will be the absolute backbone of tomorrow's economy.
They are pouring, and I mean pouring, money into two of the toughest, most expensive battlegrounds in tech right now, AI and cloud computing. And let's be clear, these aren't just little side hobbies for them. This is a massive, all-in bet on the future. And if you want to win in these areas, you need to spend a colossal amount of cash on R&D, the smartest people, and just a ton of infrastructure.
And here's the really crucial part. Alibaba isn't playing for today's market. They're playing for tomorrow's. They're spending billions to build the fundamental plumbing, the infrastructure that they believe everyone is going to depend on in the next 10 years. It's a really bold vision. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? It all comes at a pretty steep price.
And that price, well, that brings us to the other side of the coin. Because as exciting as that whole growth story sounds, when you look at the numbers right now, it tells a very, very different story. And frankly, a much more worrying one.
Okay, so this is where a lot of people get confused. All that money they're spending, all that building for the future stuff, it's putting some serious pressure on their bottom line. Right now, the profits are getting squeezed, and you can bet that's making investors pretty nervous.
Which leads us to the million-dollar question, right? The one that connects these two totally different stories. I mean, the strategy seems pretty solid, investing in AI and the cloud. That's what all the big guys are doing. So why are the profits taking such a hit? Where is all that cash actually going? And here it is, the big reveal. Those two stories we've been talking about, the huge growth and the shrinking profits, they aren't a contradiction. They're not a paradox at all. In fact, they're cause and effect. One is happening because of the other. So, to really get this, we have to talk about something called a long-term investment strategy. It's actually a pretty simple idea. It's when you make a conscious choice to give up some profits today for a much, much bigger reward way down the line. Basically, you spend big now so you can totally own the future later.
And this lays out the chain reaction perfectly. Let's walk through it. Step 1. Alibaba goes all in, investing aggressively in AI and cloud. Step 2. That, of course, racks up enormous costs for research, for equipment, for hiring the best people. Step 3. Those massive bills directly eat into today's profits. But, and this is the whole point, Step 4, the end game, is to completely dominate the market in the long run.
I'm going to say this as plainly as I can, because if you take one thing away from this, it should be this. The growth isn't happening despite the low profits. The growth is the reason for the low profits. It's not a mistake. It's not a bug. It's a feature. It's the whole plan.
So when you put it all together, what does it mean? It means Alibaba is making a very deliberate, very calculated, and frankly, an incredibly high-stakes gamble. They are literally betting the entire farm on what the future is going to look like.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Sacrificing today's profit for tomorrow's supremacy. It's a classic trade-off. They're okay with their report card looking a little weak today because the goal is to become an absolutely unstoppable force tomorrow.
And that, of course, leaves us with the billion-dollar question, maybe even the trillion-dollar question. This whole strategy, sacrificing today for tomorrow, is a huge risk. I mean, the competition in AI and cloud is absolutely brutal. So here's what we're left wondering. Will Alibaba's massive long-term gamble actually pay off? Will they redefine the entire tech world? Only time will tell.